Hey up, and welcome to this video. What a morning. In this location we've got fog. It's not mist, it's fog, but it looks so different, and it's still autumn. There's still some lovely autumn colours, but on top of that we've got the mist, and it looks totally different. There's some compositions that I've took here before that I kind of want to retake, and I can't find them because it looks so different. So the plan today, I've already took some shots which you might have seen at the beginning. The plan today is to take some pano woodland shots. Now that's quite a challenge because woodland is quite enclosed. It's quite an enclosed area, so it will be a challenge. But recently I seem to have been doing quite a few panos, particularly in Scotland, and I do want to put a waterfall within that pano, and that's going to be an even bigger challenge. So I believe, just talking to another photographer, I do believe that the foggy conditions are going to be with us for most of the day, so there's no need to rush around. It's not like mist which lifts and disappears. So yeah, I've come over to the this side of Padley Gorge is where there's gnarly trees, and I can't see them, they're hidden. So I'm gonna have a look round. We'll let the drone do a little flight, and we'll see what we can find. But pano, woodland panos, is top of today's challenge agenda. Okay, so now I've got a bit more organised. I've got this little scene here, and we've got a little autumnal tree in the shot, some nice mossy rock in the foreground there, and the fog just looks like it's lifting a little, but it still makes a nice shot because we've got the green moss in the bottom, we've got the vertical tree with the nice autumn leaves on it, and then in the upper right of the image we've got some more autumn leaves on the tree there in the background. It's a nice shot. It's not a pano, but oops, it's slippy. I do like it. It is going to be a square crop, but I just keep tweaking it a little just to get the composition as I want it. Yeah, that's going to be a square crop on this shot, and there's still some really nice autumn colours around. Now I don't know whether to go back now around the other side or carry on down here for a little while. I'm still not seeing my gnarly trees. I want a pano shot of gnarly trees. Where have they gone? They're in the fog. Okay, now I've stopped to look. There's a few more compositions coming together. So this one, for example, we've got this. They've got nice autumn colours on this small tree on the right hand side. Then in the background, we've got another autumnal looking tree, but it's more green and yellow. It's going to be another square crop, and the misty background really makes this shot. You probably wouldn't take this shot really if the mist wasn't here creating that atmosphere. So focusing on this tree here, f11, ISO 64, 1.6 second. The only movement in the leaves, there's a little bit of damp dropping down on the leaves, and that's the only thing that's moving the leaves at the moment. And when I just put the drone up, when it come back down, that was covered in dew, in wetness, which wasn't good for it. So, square crop, another shot. Not a pano yet. Well, I just had a slip and my pocket OSMO hit the ground, and I don't know what the picture quality is like, but the glass on the front protecting the lens has got a nice crack and a hole in it. Anyway, next composition. It's going to be another square crop. We've got a nice chunky rock in the bottom. The colours of the leaves aren't too nice, they're a bit sort of muted. We've got a really nice tree there that's going to sit in the right hand side of the image. Then we've got a mossy tree coming up the left and a branch going across the that would be sort of the upper thirds of the image. Nice autumn, mossy green, gritstone rock, square crop. Oh, I hope we can fix my OSMO. Okay, I've got, I don't know if you can see me or not, in my cracked lens. I've got a woodland pano. I was trying to do it horizontal, but couldn't fit everything in I wanted to fit in. So I'm now going to do a vertical pano. I've adjusted my ISO a little. So I've changed my base settings from 64 to ISO 250. That's given me 1/10 of a second at f11. And this is the pano, sort of end to end, that you can see now. And I think the main thing with this is we've got a decent looking tree either side. So we've got some autumn tree to the left, then on the right we've just got a group of non-autumn trees, if that sounds right. Then we've got mossy green rocks scattered around the foreground. Of course the final image will depend on how I crop it. So let's take this. I am focusing a third of the way into the image. And I can see now I am going to be cropping the bottom out. I think the upper part of the image does look quite nice. I've got mist. It has got a little brighter. But I'm hoping that this comes out, but you never can tell. Great thing with doing a pano is it also gives you great still shots within the scene as well. So if the pano doesn't come out, you've still got a shot like this. Okay, we've come down to the waterfalls now, and since I was last here, there is a few trees that have fallen down. And that ultimately means you cannot get into the position you want to because there's a tree in the way. And there's not really a pano shot here as such, but what I am going to do, what I do like, is this little autumn tree on the left hand side here, and the mushy leaves is like standing on an ice rink. So it's very awkward to film this. I think I've got a waterfall pano, not quite what I had in mind. The foliage is not moving, it's dead still. So every shot I can take at probably 1/8 of a second for the waterfall, or even half a second. Will it work as a pano? I'm not sure. You're going to have a look and see what you think. I'll put it up even if it fails. Right, let's get the camera out. Okay, I'm going to end the video here. Otherwise this is going to be a 2-hour video. The amount of compositions here is absolutely amazing. So we'll end it here on this shot.
Morning.
Morning. We'll end it here on this shot. Thank you. The dog's just had a wee up the wall. We'll end it here on this. But what a fantastic place. Autumn is still here. It's the 14th of November, which is quite bizarre. If you want to have a look on my Instagram, you can see all the other shots I'm going to take going back that way now. I'll put 1 or 2 up, but it's going to be a long video and I don't like doing long videos. So massive thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you like this content. I do want to gradually grow the channel, but I'm not in a rush. Give the video a like, pop a comment in the bottom, and I'm going to carry on. I'll put 1 or 2 shots up. We'll end on a small slideshow. I'll see you later. Well, as you can see, my visit to Padley Gorge had put me on quite a bit of a high for me, but there's still a little bit more to come before we do a slideshow of images that I captured in that location. And Padley Gorge is a great location without fog and mist, but put that in and yeah, it can send you on a high. So I just want to talk through a few images, and I said I'd come back to this one here. This image was the first image I took when I walked into Padley Gorge, and we can see it was a pano, which is what I was after at this location. And there was no colour, so it was going to be black and white. And what did I like about it? Well, there was 3 main trees in the shot, and an odd number of subjects in an image always seem to work in photography. But in this case, what I liked about this scene was the trees seemed to be holding hands. They seem to link together. So you can see here I've drawn a line of where those hands of the trees, or rather the branches, seem to be holding on to each other. So that's why I took that shot. Next shot now. In these conditions, your lens mists up and you have to keep wiping it clean. And when I got to this point, I'd not wiped it. I let it sort of dry naturally, and it was giving this effect, this misty effect around the outside of the image. So I took this shot, processed it, and I thought, I'll show you that. That's interesting, that. Next shot, you've heard of intentional camera movement, ICM. This is ACM, accidental camera movement. and it gave quite a nice effect, and I thought I'd share that image as well. So after I'd done in Padley Gorge, if we look on the map here, I moved across the road and followed the path towards the visitor centre at the Longshore Estate, and took some shots of the woodland there that you'll see in the slideshow, and I also took this minimalist shot of the pond there. Once I managed to entice the ducks away to give me the shot I wanted. So yes, we will end the video now. The next video is going to be the final instalment from Scotland, and it's probably going to be another long one. I'll try and keep it short, but I can't promise. So let's go back for a little bit more B-roll before we end the video on a slideshow, and a thoroughly enjoyable morning in misty, foggy Padley Gorge. Well, I've come over from Padley Gorge over to the pond here on the way to the visitor centre, and got a nice minimalist shot across this lake or pond. But the ducks are being a bit annoying. But this looks quite nice. Wait, you lot, back over there. Go on. I'm not the wildlife photographer. He'll be along later. Come on. Somebody's over there with a Warburton's loaf. Quick, before it's all gone. You know it's your favourite. That's it. Clear the scene. See you later.
You've got wellies, so you're okay, mate. What is that? So Mum's taking some pictures of ducks in the mist. Is that a nice picture?